Man, I will have to say 2023 was an insane year for us JoyToy X Warhammer 40K action figure collectors. We have been forced to budget our money. We have been inundated with so many special characters. We have been flooded with so many regular units that it's just beggars belief that sometimes I have to pinch myself that all these excellent action figures are being produced right now. So in this very special video, as you can see, I put on my special blazer for this special video where we are going to take a look at the Warhammer X JoyToy Action Figure of the Year award. And we have had a lot of action figures, like I said, and narrowing them all down to just 10 was a very, very painful thing for me to do. It took me a lot of time and effort to figure out just the nominations, let alone trying to figure out which is going to be the action figure of the year. So without further ado, let's go to the nominations. And the first nominee for the action figure of the year is Miston, the Lord of Death. And the reason why I chose this particular action figure is because obviously I have a 100% bias to the Blood Angels, but he's got a very, very awesome sculpt with the armor. You can see the musculature over here, as well as the very, very interesting, cool, glowing white and blue eyes. And he's got this unique looking cape that is swept off to the side and has a bunch of stuff that is happening down here with his cape as well. So this is an excellent action figure that needs to be in every single collection. And you also have Vitaris here. It's got all these different kind of adornments on it that sets him apart. This is definitely one of the top action figures of 2023. Moving along, the second nomination that we have here is Ezrael. And the reason why Ezrael is making this list is because, well, he's a very, very badass character, and he's got a lot of things that are going on for him in that I really like his cloak here. It is long, it is regal and elegant, has a lot of shading, and his face has a ton of character as well. As you take a look at him, he's very, very grim as well as dour, but he also has these different adornments that are down here that make him very badass. I'll have to say that his standard here is also very cool and makes him stand out compared to the rest of the Space Marines. So one of the other things that also stood out to me is the lion's helm right here. As you can see, this one is cool in that there is a lion right here. And finally, you have the Sword of Secrets here. Once again, a very unique sword that does stand out of the rest. The third nomination, we have High Marshal Helbrecht. What can I say about this action figure in that the decorations on this one is absolutely insane with all the different kind of icons as well as these purity seals that are flowing. The golden armor, which stands out compared to the rest of the Black Templars, is very, very awesome and ornate. You can see this cape, all the different embroideries that is happening. And then obviously he's got one of the most unique sculpts for his face. I suppose his standard on the back too is very interesting in that there is nothing like this in terms of the spikiness, as well as the skull that is attached, as well as the candles on the back too. So excellent action figure. I don't know if this guy is going to be a surprise to you all, but if you actually followed me on my action figure review video of this captain with the Relic Shield, I raved about him, and I really do think that this action figure has a lot going for him. He's got a very, very unique visor that you can flip up and down. And then the adornments on this action figure are also very, very pronounced and prominent. You've got this ribbon that's wrapped around his forearm with a little pendant that is dangling down. There are plenty of different pendants here. And when you look at this action figure, he does actually stand out from the rest of the Ultramarines. So I really do think that this action figure deserves a nomination. The Relic Shield also has a lot of things that are going for it. It is literally a 3D shield. and literally what you look at when you see this guy being displayed in the display cabinet. All right, in the middle of the list, we have Adrax Gatone. And the reason why this guy makes the list is he's got a lot of unique adornments on him as well. This gigantic UFC type buckle depicts a nice fire-breathing dragon. There's a ton of nice color transitions from yellow to orange to red here. And I'll have to say that one of the things that make him stand out is obviously the salamander's skin as well as the glowing red eyes. There is the heraldic shield, and the piece de resistance to this action figure is actually this billowing cape here. And the reason why I love the cape so much is because it's got so much texture and it's got a ton of dimension to it, which is interesting because you actually never see it because it's facing the rear. But when I brought this guy out to do this action figure of the year video, I am once again enthralled by this lovely cape. And then this particular torch serves as something that your eye gravitates toward when you are looking at this action figure. The next figure on this list is Roboute Gilman, and this guy, well, I mean, there really isn't that much of a surprise that he is on this list. Obviously, he is the first Loyalist Primarch that has been made into action figure form. I mean, if you look at the armor on this action figure, it is absolutely nuts with all the golden adornments that are happening, and this gold serves as a fantastic contrast to all the blue that is happening in the recesses of Gilman. And what can I say also about his face sculpt? It is regal, and it does stand out from the rest of the action figures. And if you also look at the Emperor's sword, it's got the nice fire blaze that is happening, that is running along the side of it, as well as the color transition is absolutely insane and beautiful in my opinion. So again, no surprise why this guy should not be nominated. Up next, we have the Iron Father Fieros. So he's obviously got Gorgon's Wrath on the back here, as well as these servo arms that are all over the place. There is a ton of adornments, and I'll be honest with you, when this guy is in my display cabinet, as you saw in my collection video, my eyes do gravitate toward this one just because of all the different kind of things that are going on with this backpack. So you got the two servo arms. He almost looks like a dwarf with his face. And I'll have to say that Hero Hand is a very awesome specimen of an omniscient axe. You got this excellent gearing that's supposed to serve as a blade, and just the color spread on this thing is fantastic. Up next, we have the Opetuscustodes Alaris Terminators. And I will have to say that you guys really loved these Terminators. It was one of my most viewed action figure review videos, second to Gilman himself. These guys are so badass as a whole because there's 3 of them. But if you look at the armor, it is second to none. It is Baroque, it is unique, and it's got all these patterns that are happening with it. The highlighting as well as the shading is excellent with this action figure, or these action figures in general. Obviously, this is the Vexillus, and the Vexillus also is one of those standards that just jump out at you when you are looking at it in a display case. So these guys really do stand out as head and shoulders above the rest of the action figures that are out there. For nominee number 9, we have Chief Librarian Tigarius, and I happen to love librarians in the Warhammer 40K lore. This is also why he is also on this list. I mean, if you take a look at his face, it mimics Miston with the glowing white eyes. I like those cybernetic implants that he has. And if you look at the Rod of Tigarius too, this is something that is completely unique and will not be ever replicated again. I do like the rune scrawl that is going on with this part of the action figure. And he's got all these different librarian adornments that are down here that make him stand out the rest. And finally, to round everything out, you have the banner of Tigarius in the front. And to round out the nominees, we have Celestine. This is an elegant and beautiful action figure. You've got these gorgeous wings that are on the back of her. It serves as a selling point for this action figure. Your eyes really do gravitate toward these beautiful wings that have this nice transition from a white to a dirty blue that's happening. The embroidery on the back of her cape is very well done by JoyToy. So a truly excellent action figure in my opinion. After that extensive list of 10 very, very potent action figures, we have finally come down to the winner of the Warhammer X JoyToy action figure of the year. And I'll be honest with you, this should not come as a surprise to you all. The winner is none other than Mr. Papa Smurf himself, Roboute Gilman. And this guy has been popular by a country mile. There is absolutely no comparison whatsoever. I have to say that you all loved watching my review video on him. It had 11,000 views to this day right now, and it was only released probably like half a year ago, which is absolutely insane. So I'll have to say Roboute is the popular choice. Now, for my choice, actually may come to as a surprise to you all. My choice for the winner of the Action Figure of the Year award actually goes to this guy right here, which is the set of 3 Alaris Terminators for the Opetuscustodes. I just think that these guys are absolutely fantastic and represent the epitome of JoyToy manufacturing, as well as painting, as well as just overall general quality. I love these guys, and you also actually did love them as well. Those Opetuscustodes actually performed the second best this year, and obviously there is a reason why that happened. So anyways, members of the chapter, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments section which action figures I may have missed or should have even been nominated. And also let me know what your action figure of the year should have gone to. And with that being said, once again, thank you so much for watching me this past year. I am extremely thankful for your viewership as well as your continued support. And I hope that 2024 is going to be an excellent year for us action figure collectors. And we just saw that the Imperial Knights have just been announced. Woo! It's going to be a fantastic year. And with that being said, have a happy new year, and I will see you all in the new year.